If someone never texts you first but always replies, psychology says they're not playing games, they're protecting themselves from something you can't see. And once you understand why, you'll never take it personally again. 1. It's not ego, it's emotional safety. Some people don't text first because they fear rejection. Not because they're proud, but because they've been hurt before. It's a survival response, not a personality flaw. Psychologists call this avoidant attachment, the belief that, if I don't start, I can't be ignored. Their mind learned that it's safer to stay quiet than to risk reaching out and being left unseen. So when they don't text you, it's not distance, it's defense. They're not avoiding you, they're avoiding the feeling of not being wanted. It's a quiet kind of protection most people never notice. 2. They need certainty, not connection. For some, texting first feels risky, like walking into a room where they don't know if they're welcome. What if I bother them? What if they don't reply? That uncertainty triggers the amygdala, the brain's fear center. And when that part of the brain activates, logic shuts off. They start overthinking. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they lost interest, so they wait. Not because they don't care, but because their brain is trying to feel safe again. They don't chase connection. They chase control. When you text first, it signals safety. I'm wanted here. Only then does their guard go down. 3. They've learned energy boundaries. People who always text first often burn out. They're the ones who keep conversations alive, make the plans, and hold things together until one day they realize it's one-sided. So they stop initiating, not to play hard to get, but to protect their energy. It's their quiet way of saying, if I matter, they'll reach out too. That's not coldness, that's self-respect. They're not tired of people, they're tired of imbalance. 4. But sometimes, it is a power move. Here's the part most people miss. Not texting first isn't always about trauma. Sometimes it's strategy. Psychologists call it strategic scarcity. When people reduce availability to increase perceived value. It's not manipulation, it's human psychology. When someone is too available, your brain stops valuing the interaction. When they pull back slightly, curiosity kicks in again. So yes, some people don't text first because they've learned how attention works. They're not avoiding you, they're just controlling the rhythm of connection. It's not emotional damage, it's emotional intelligence in a slightly guarded form. 5. Their dopamine system is exhausted. 20 years ago, a text felt exciting. Now, your brain gets bombarded, hundreds of notifications, messages, and alerts every day. Over time, that constant stimulation dulls your dopamine response. Your brain literally stops rewarding you for social interaction. It's called dopamine desensitization, the same effect that happens with any overstimulation. So when someone doesn't text first, it's not that they don't care, their brain is just tired. The emotional spark that used to exist in small connections has been replaced by numbness. They're not cold, they're just overstimulated by a world that never shuts up. 6. It reveals their attachment blueprint. How someone texts is often how they love. Anxious types text first, they fear distance. Avoidant types wait, they fear being too much. Secure types, they just text when they think of you. No overthinking, no strategy. These patterns aren't random, they're your attachment blueprint, showing up in your phone habits. You don't just text with your fingers, you text with your history. 7. What this means for you. If you're someone who never texts first, understand that your silence is a shield. But shields block connection too. The moment you realize you're protecting yourself from something that's no longer a threat, that's when healing starts. And if you're always the one waiting, don't take it personally. People communicate from their conditioning, not their intentions. So instead of overanalyzing their silence, recognize it for what it is: fear, fatigue, or self-preservation. Healthy relationships aren't about who texts first. They're built by two people who both decide, I want to show up. So if you care about someone, reach out. Not to prove your worth, but to express it. Because connection isn't a game, it's courage. So tell me, are you the one who never texts first, or the one who always does? Drop it in the comments. And if this helped you understand yourself better, don't just like the video. Send it to the one person who makes you overthink silence. They might need it more than you think.